Very, very special comic. This guy, he's been all around the world, hails from New York City. Get your hands together and get your bellies ready to laugh for everybody's uncle, but not the one that touched you. Uncle Rocky, everybody! Give it up for Uncle Rocky!
I wish I came from El Paso. I would have been pretty tall there too. So, I was asked what it's like having grown up in the 70s, because I'm a pretty old fart. And so I want to compare growing up in the 70s with hanging out in kava bars. So, when I was a kid, there were no cell phones, there were no pictures, which meant there was no documentation. For if there was, everything we did could have been an indictment. There were no gluten allergies, there were no peanut allergies, no one had ADHD. I think there's a whole generation now that could be taken out by a peanut butter and jelly sandwich on whole wheat. We used to go to strip clubs, we used to drink scotch, smoke cigars. Now guys come to places like this, they smoke blueberry vapes, they drink Italian pineapple sodas. And last week I was here and somebody was rolling a joint with a filter. Just not what we used to do. The other thing is guys sit around here and they talk about their feelings. We didn't have feelings. We had cocaine. And what happened to pubic hair? There's no more pubic hair, right? The shag is gone. It's all hardwood. When I was a kid, you had to be very, very intrepid to muff dive. And there was a very specific technique to it. Let me show you. You wanted to get those loose hairs out of the way. And of course, that's premenopause. Now, postmenopause is a different story. You're doing the same blow, but it's to get the dust out of the way. It's like a 1980s Nintendo cartridge. Speaking of menopause, Pixie and I have gone through menopause. We're married 41 years, so we went through the whole menopause thing. And I got to tell you, she really suffered through it. I like to call it the thermostat wars. I would set the thermostat down like to 75. She would set it down to 66. It would get so cold in the house that we would have intermittent flurries in the bedroom. One night I'm in bed and I hear, bzzz. I hear, bzzz, a little fast, a little louder. I turn around all excited, all ready to go. And all she's got is a little fan from her nightstand, trying to cool herself off. That was not the buzzing that I had in mind. We're Italian, and menopause for an Italian woman is really Mother Nature's way of telling her she's going to be dealing with facial hair for the rest of her life. My Nona, at age 70, had such a luxurious beard, she was asked to front for a ZZ Top cover band. I've been around Italian women my whole life, and I can tell you they talk incessantly. They never stop. So it leads me to the conclusion that they can actually breathe through their ears, which also brings me to the conclusion that that whole excuse of I'm not sucking that because I can't breathe is really bullshit. When I was moving to Florida, people said to me, "Are you going to miss the seasons?" And I was like, "Nah, I don't think so." But what I come to realize is Florida actually has seasons. We got the dry season, you got the bug season, you got pollen season, and of course, hurricane season. And the love bug season is sort of interesting. You're driving on 75 and shit's hitting the windshield. It sounds like machine gun fire. What's the last thing copulating love bugs see? And when you finally make it home, trying to see through all that shit on your window, you get home and you got to power wash it, right? So that power washing, scrubbing, power washing, it always leaves a little bit of residue behind. Love bugs are fundamentally Mother Nature's cum stain, right? I mean, really, you scrub, you scrub, you scrub. You can't get rid of all of it. You always got that little bit of residue behind. It's kind of like a blue dress. Right, Monica? All right, that's my time. I'm Uncle Rocky. Thanks, Manatee, for having us. And here's your host, Tony G.